Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. So I dedicated one of my last few streams to perfecting and just playing this deck almost the entire stream, which I never really do, but I saw such potential in it. It is the Reno Control Dragon Shaman. I played with Evolve. I've played a deck similar to this in the past, but I chose to just switch up a few cards a few days ago, give it a spin, and, well, I won all my games for like a period of about an hour and a half. So I'm like, wow, there's really something here. And of course, it was a pretty low rank, but you can see from the results that an 80% win rate, the low rank changed to a not really that low rank after a little bit of time of play. And overall, I was just blown away by the power of this deck. In terms of the matchups and all that kind of stuff, it does okay against like the heavily played decks. Like it does okay against mid-range Shaman. It does like probably about 50%. It does probably about 50%. Maybe a little bit better than that against like Tempo Mage. So against the heavily meta decks, well, the reason they're really good is because they're almost impossible to really counter. And that still holds true with this. But the high win rate really comes from the fact that I lost to no other control decks. I mean, you look at the deck, you just have Control Warrior in mind. It's like, yeah, Control Warrior is just going to smash this. It's way heavier. You think about like Control Priest with like the super greedy cards they have. No, that actually doesn't do it. And I've played a few other control decks. It just, this deck is like the king of control, and I couldn't really understand why. Actually, I still don't really understand why. But it is. It's absolutely fantastic against other control decks. It beats nearly all of them. I did lose to a Control Paladin, but again, you had to be pretty lucky to do that because a lot of them have the Murloc things, and I kind of screwed that up a little bit by actually having a Corrupted Seer in the deck. I mean, if you really analyze the deck, you have, kind of like 4 board clears. You have a lot of draw, but the really, really interesting thing about the draw in this deck is that it helps you a lot against aggro decks, but when you're playing against control decks, you can actually go the fatigue distance, and you can utilize your card draw cards. So if you take a look at a card like, just for instance, just a simple one, right? Mana-Tide Totem. So Mana-Tide Totem is not a card you really want to play in a control matchup, because if you draw too many cards, you're going to lose. Often a control versus control is going to be who can play the slowest while not drawing any extra cards. But if you have a card like Mana-Tide, that just by itself means it's a dead card. Well, the deck takes advantage of these dead cards in a really cool way. You just evolve them. So your Mana-Tide Totem, while is normally useless in a control matchup, you can use an evolution effect to turn it into a random 4-drop. And a random 4-drop is a hell of a lot better than a completely useless card. And because of this conversion fact, it makes it so you don't have to run a card like Elise. I was playing against Elise control decks again and again and again, and despite the fact that they had a ton of random extra legendaries in their deck, and I didn't, it didn't actually matter in the end. I just actually beat out all those cards almost every single time anyway. And it's just an amazing thing. I think this deck is actually a pretty competitive deck, and it's a hell of a lot of fun to play. And I know a lot of you guys that have exhausted and played every single good competitive deck out there. You can add this one to the list, and I assure you, you'll have a great deal of fun playing it. So check it out. Check out my games. I think you'll be impressed. And I'll see you guys in a little bit.
I have no time for games.
Oh my god. That actually sucks a lot. I'm pretty sure Doomsayer will still trigger if I Nightmare it. I don't really want to give him any dreams though. He doesn't have a dream yet. I think I'm just gonna Hex it. Need 3 on this. Fuck.
Tonight, a tale of long lost worlds. The menagerie is for guests only.
Good enough. Yeah, it was pretty rough. If I hit it for 3, I could play Charged Hammer instead of Barnes. But Curator's a pretty nice pull.
My dream ends. Your nightmare begins.
Yeah. That sucks a lot. Alright, so I have to dodge the many board clears that this deck has now. He's probably playing Reno soon, so it's hard for him to buff for 4 and then Hellfire. He can buff for 3. I can buff for 2 and then Hellfire, but that's one off. He's already played Cartoon. Basically, the reason I'm in this shithole is because of his Sylvanas Powerwhelming play against my Ysera.
The feast of souls begins now.
Okay. I could have played the Drake for 0, but I'm probably going to get Twisting Nethered. It's pretty good. Okay.
Buying or selling.
Alright.
You love my new recipe. Kazoo is my seal.
It's pretty ballsy there, bro. In fact, I think it just won.
We hunger for vengeance.
Get the BM Drake while we're at it. Wow, how about that? Okay. Where are we changing the deck up if we're winning every game? I lost the game today. But even if you're winning, it doesn't mean your deck is perfect. I felt like Ancestral Knowledge was just not useful in like any matchup. You want me to play a wild game? Okay, I guess.
We hunger for vengeance.
Such big teeth I have.
More souls.
Better to eat you with.
Okay. 35 legendaries, yeah. Get that value. Why don't I play Reno Lock? Because it's a standard powerful deck. I don't play shit like that. Hipster boys.
I have no time for games.
Sylvanas is pretty fucking strange from a secret hunter deck. I don't know. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it did get a little bamboozled.
Come midnight.
The menagerie is for guests only.
I can heal for a lot with Halazil. Oh, that's pretty bad. That's pretty ridiculous.
Hey, give me that!
Okay.
That belongs in a museum. Job's done.
To my side.
It's pretty bad. Pretty good.
Tonight, a tale of terrible tragedy.
I don't even want to evolve that. I guess I should still. Worth. Fucking Highman again.
Gotcha.
Well, the only threats that he could even have in his whole deck are Call of the Wilds. There's nothing else. I guess there is nothing else. Hearthstone's a good game. It's just It feels like whenever they make a new content, they make a lot more of the shady content that hurts the game than they do the content that helps the game. Like, oh wow, you know, a whole bunch of new cards. Oh, it's just aggro shaman and mid-range hunter cards. You know, mostly that. Oh, these arena cards look interesting. Oh, they're mage cards. Mmm. So, yeah, the core of the game is obviously good.
To me.
Astonishing. I have an axe to grind. I wield the power.
Okay. Alright, so it's a control warrior. Should be a win for me.
Once upon a time.
We'll take another Chilma, I guess.
Do you have the artifact?
Should be interesting with that. Wow. Geddon would be super bad right now. Oh, that might be the game.
Let the pain speak to me.
When Nixie Evolve gets brawled hard. But I don't really have a better play. He's played one ghoul. I think it's easier for him to brawl than to do a ghoul execute.
Darkest night.
Okay.
Sometimes I forget things.
Okay.
That belongs in a museum.
I actually don't mind that too much. It's gonna let me draw as well. And I'm pretty sure my draws are more powerful than his. He's 6 cards ahead, so he has to win the game right now, basically.
The menagerie is for guests only.
Okay. Fuck. That's a problem.
Welcome to the Grand Tournament, champion.
Damn, he's gonna let me draw. It's kinda bad, actually. I don't really want to draw. Okay. I want to play the heal when there's no cards left. Preferably, at least.
I'm almost out of cards.
He did attack with just the card, it hit my Untitled Totem. The problem I face is that I actually have to play a card.
Tonight, a tale of wonder and magic.
Mind if I roll need?
It's really bad. Doomsayer might be okay. Yeah.
I'm out of cards.
Let's show our guests a good time.
Okay, so he's got an active weapon and 6 legendaries. That might be a problem. That is a problem.
Mind if I roll need?
That's really good. think I want to tempo him out.
The end is coming!
Warrior, your strength becomes your weakness. None shall rise.
Oh! Oh! Still 100% win rate against control decks.